Hi, one of the permaculture principles that we teach is observe and interact. It's about looking at what is around, seeing the beauty that is there to behold. So here we have what is known as fat hen. It's very much considered a weed, an invasive species. However, it is very good. It's a salad crop used for centuries for people to eat. It's really tasty. It's really good for you. But it's how you look at it. Is it something that is a positive? And then you can see the goodness that is there. Now in these times of shortness, there are many things growing in our garden that are good for us. Many things in our life that are good for us. And we just don't appreciate. So take the time and appreciate what you have today. Number 2, catch and store energy. We catch energy in the sense of rain. How is that energy? Because we catch it in IBCs, we store water when there's plenty of water, and that saves us time. Efficient use of time is saving your energy in what you do, thinking about what you do, putting things in place so that you can be more effective. It's not doing things a hard way, it's making your life easier. So how can you make things easier for yourself today? Just think about how you can do things more effectively. Simply, this is just a gravity fed system that pushes the water through into the polytunnel and waters it. That's it. So how can you be saving time today? Permaculture principle number 3, obtain a yield. You can't work on an empty stomach. It's obvious really. Achieving short-term goals, getting results is a really positive thing when dealing with mental health. You know, meeting the immediate needs of what is needed now helps us work towards longer term goals. If we structure things in such a way that we achieve things in a slow process, and we see that process. You know, in here we've got the spinach, you know, we're growing this to obtain a yield, and you know, we're planning for the future. We know what we're doing. It's all in place. So what can you do today to help yourselves move forward? Permaculture principle number 4, apply self-regulation and accept feedback. The world around us gives us feedback about what we do. Now, I'm sitting here next to Buddha. Buddha talks about self-reflection, about looking at ourselves and contemplating where we are. Now, there's a quote from the Bible, the sins of our fathers are visited unto the 7th generation. What we do today affects people in the future. Our actions, what we sow, will affect future generations. It will affect ourselves in the future. So consider what you do. So how can you improve the future for yourself and others today? Principle number 5, use and value renewable resources and services. In other words, let nature take its course. Now, we work with nature to produce compost. Compost takes time to produce. Done in an effective manner, it can actually be done quite quickly. Now, this highlights the need to be patient and allow things to take their own pace, reaping the benefits at the appropriate time. This is both in nature and in yourself. You know, things do take time to take root, to go those natural processes. Sometimes when we try, in this life now, we try and rush things, we try and do everything at such a fast speed, and then that's where we introduce stress and friction, and we don't need to. We can actually take time and enjoy nature. Principle number 6, produce no waste. An old saying, a stitch in time saves 9. It's all about time management of yourself, your health, your relationships, and how we use that waste that we have. Now here I have the waste from the kitchen. It's going to go and feed some worms to produce some lovely compost tea and compost. So thinking about how we use waste responsibly in today's world, it is hard to be completely zero free, but we can make day-to-day choices to make that possible. About going to a zero waste shop, buying things in bulk, reducing what we have, looking at what we have in our lives and how we can be more responsible in what we do. So the impact on ourselves, the environment and others. Thank you very much. Permaculture principle number 7, design from patterns to the details. Now, we need to look at the patterns of life. Here we have a nice picture of a spider in its web. The natural things that occur, rather than those little tiny little details, you see the larger pattern. Because sometimes you can't see the forest for the trees, you can't see how the trees are growing. When concentrating on the very detailed things, we sometimes miss the bigger pattern of what's going on. So is there a pattern in life, rather than that small detail of how you're feeling? Is there a pattern, a repeating pattern in your life, in the things around you, in the way that you grow? Just look for the patterns and maybe you can see what is happening. Principle number 8, integrate rather than segregate. We have a herb spiral, which is all about a spiral or the different environments but all growing together. You've got nice, beautiful spearmint here. We've got borage, we've got fat hen, we've got garlic chives, all together. Now often to today's society, when we grow things, it's just one crop, but crops benefit each other when they grow together. It's the same with people. We benefit when we integrate with people who are different. It gives us different experiences in life. When we move something, we don't do it on our own. We need somebody to help. Building community makes life better. Building for the greater good gives you something to aspire to, gives you that inspiration to do things differently. So how can many hands make light work in your life? Culture principle number 9, use slow and steady solutions. We observe nature and see how it grows, how it establishes itself. We're not looking to make big, massive changes, because sometimes those aren't always the right things to do. Yes, we know that climate change is important, but it's looking at how you can make changes in your life that are sustainable for you. What can you do to make that impact? Making a big, massive change can be very stressful. It can cause more expense, it can cause stress and anxiety, and it's doing things small to make sure that it is working, to make sure it is established. So what solutions can you put into yourself? Start making those small changes, those habits that make things a difference, because in the future that's what's important. Principle number 10, use and value diversity. Having different things is important. There is no one solution that will solve the problem. It's many things working together, and that is the same in our lives. We all maybe rely on that one thing that will make the difference, but don't put all your eggs in one basket. Just look at the different ways that you can do different things. Don't rely too heavily on just that one thing. Have contingency plans. Have things in place that support you in your life, in your journey to be sustainable. You are not alone. Find people who can support you. Have that diversity, that richness of different experiences. Like nature has flowers, herbs, different things that are all growing together. Grow together with other people. Edges and value the marginal. Often people on the edges of society are devalued. but they have such a richness that can add to society. And that's the same in nature. You know, the edges are places where there is a richness, there is abundance of life. And behind me I've got a nettle bed, wild garlic. It is beautiful food that you can eat. It's not just weeds. Now, look in your life at the edges, and just because it's obvious doesn't mean it's the right way. You know, look at an innovation, look at new ways of doing things, look at how you can be different, and value the people that are on the edges of your life, the people who are different, who are maybe on the edges of society, and give them love. Culture principle number 12. Creatively use and respond to change. The earth is always changing around us, but it's more than that. It's about envisioning what we want. Vision is not seeing things as they are, but as they will be. There's a sign behind me, and I've just realised that you can't read it because it's backwards. But it says wildlife pond. There's not one there yet, but there will be. It's about envisioning what can be in your life, what you want, and putting those things forward for how you view things, using your imagination to see what can be in your life. So take time today to think about how things can be different and how you want things to be and how you can make a difference.